Good morning, all dear students. In previous lecture, we'll start the topic congestive heart failure. Now, in today's lecture, we'll also discuss the same topic congestive heart failure and their management of heart failure. In this slide, there is the management of heart failure. In this slide include non-pharmacologic lifestyle modification. In that, healthy diet is follow. In healthy diet, salt restriction, fluid restriction, weight loss, lipid control, and also stop smoking. Activity is restricted to decrease cardiac workload, reduce stress. These all are the non-pharmacological treatment strategy. Now, we'll see about the pharmacological treatment strategy or pharmacological management. In that, which drug are used in the treatment of congestive heart failure or congestive cardiac failure is there. In that, first is cardiotonic drugs. Cardiotonic drugs is used to increase the efficiency and improve the concentration of heart muscle, which leads to improve blood flow to all tissue of the body. In cardiotonic drugs, cardiac glycosides will there. The cardiac glycosides are present in the digitalis plant. Example is digoxin, digitoxin, lanetoside and coabin. Then second type of drug used as a vasodilators. In vasodilators, these are the most common class of vasodilators. There are the common classes of vasodilators. In that, ACA first, that is angiotensin converting enzyme first. Second is angiotensin receptor antagonist. Third is nitrovasodilators. Fourth is direct vasodilators. Fifth is calcium channel blockers. And sixth is phosphodiesterase third inhibitor. We'll see one by one. In vasodilators are those drugs that open or dilate the blood vessels. That means they preventing the heart muscles from tightening and the wall from narrowing. The first vasodilators is angiotensin converting enzyme first. Angiotensin converting enzyme is a central component of the renin-angiotensin system, which control blood pressure by regulating the volume of fluid in body, and it convert the hormone angiotensin first to the active vasoconstrictor angiotensin second. The example of angiotensin converting enzyme first is captopril, enalapril and lisinopril. Then second class of vasodilators are angiotensin receptor antagonist. Angiotensin receptor antagonist or angiotensin receptor blockers helps to relax your vein and arteries to lower your blood pressure and make it easier for your heart to pump blood. The example of angiotensin receptor antagonist is losartan. The third class of vasodilators is nitrovasodilators. Nitrovasodilators is used for the management of several serious disorders, mostly used for the treatment and prevention of angina pectoris. The example of nitrovasodilators is sodium nitroprusside, glyceryl nitrate, isorbide dinitrate. These are the example of nitrovasodilators. Next class of vasodilators is direct vasodilators. The direct vasodilators are the strong medication. They are used only when other medication have not controlled blood pressure adequately. The example of direct vasodilators is hydralazine and nicorandil. Then next class of vasodilator is calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers are the drugs which are used to lower blood pressure. They work by slowing the movement of calcium into the walls and which make it easier for the heart to pump blood vessels. The example of calcium channel blockers is nifedipine and amlodipine. The next class of vasodilators is phosphodiesterase 3 inhibitor. Phosphodiesterase 3 inhibitor is increased cellular level of cyclic adenosine monophosphate, and it acts to inhibit platelet aggregation and thrombus formation. The next major class of congestive cardiac failure is adrenergic receptor antagonist. Adrenergic receptor antagonist that inhibit function of adrenergic receptor. There are the two group of adrenergic receptors, beta adrenergic receptor and alpha adrenergic receptor. Beta adrenergic receptor has three subclasses, beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3, and alpha adrenergic receptor has alpha 1 and alpha 2 subclasses. The adrenergic receptor antagonists that inhibit these classes or these adrenoreceptor the adrenergic receptor antagonists that inhibit the function of these adrenoreceptors. Okay, the example of adrenergic receptor antagonist is prazosin, that is alpha 1 blocker, and phentolamine, that is alpha 1 and alpha 2 blockers. The next major class of congestive cardiac failure is beta 1 receptor agonist. Beta 1 receptor agonist used to treat cardiac decompensation in patient with organic heart disease or from cardiac surgery. The example is dobutamine. Next major class of cardiac failure is diuretics. Diuretics used commonly in the treatment for high blood pressure that helps the kidneys get rid of unneeded water and salt. These make it easier for your heart to pump. The example of diuretics is hydrochlorothiazide, furosemide, then amiloride. These are the drugs which are used in the treatment of congestive cardiac failure. Okay. Now in next slide we will see the mechanism of action, uses and treatment strategies of treatment strategies of this drug. First we will see the cardiac glycosides, that is digoxin. The mechanism of action of digoxin is it inhibits sodium potassium ATPase pump, which functions in the exchange of sodium for potassium ions. Such blockage result in intracellular accumulation of sodium ions. These ions are then exchanged with calcium ions through sodium calcium exchange carriers. Then these calcium ions increase the contractility of the myocardium, which is beneficial to the failing heart. Digoxin enhance the cholinergic activity, which reduce the heart rate and AV conduction. Due to this, the time required for diastolic filling get enhanced, while the myocardial oxygen consumption is retarded, that means it stops. The sympathetic outflow comprising renin aldosterone is also decreased by digoxin. In next slide, major effect of digoxin or pharmacological actions. The pharmacological action of digoxin is cardiac and extracardiac. The cardiac action is increased force of contraction and also increase cardiac output. Then decrease heart rate, increase refractory period and decrease conduction velocity in AV node. And next action is increase atomicity. On pharmacological action on ECG is increase PR interval, decrease QT interval, flattening or inversion of T wave. The pharmacological action of digoxin on extracardiac is first action on kidney. On kidney, increase renal perfusion, also retained salt and water is gradually excreted. On CNS, nausea and vomiting is there. Then uses of digoxin is congestive heart failure, atrial fibrillation, then atrial flutter, paroxysmal atrial tachycardia and low ventricular failure. There is the uses of digoxin. Then ADME of digoxin is about 70 to 80% of oral dose of digoxin is absorbed mainly in the intestine. The degree of binding to serum albumin is 20 to 30%. Digoxin is extensively distributed in the tissue, heart, kidney and skeletal muscle. The main route of elimination is renal excretion. About 25 to 28% of digoxin is eliminated by non-renal routes. Non-renal routes means what? Biliary excretion, pulmonary excretion, then salivary excretion, mammary excretion, skin, dermal excretion. These all are the non-renal routes. About 25 to 28% of digoxin is eliminated by these non-renal routes. Nearly all of the digoxin is eliminated unchanged form with a small part as active metabolites. Then in next slide, adverse effect of digoxin or toxicity of digoxin. In that, visual changes means what? Visual disturbance in color vision, blurring, photophobia is there. Then gastrointestinal toxicity, anorexia, nausea, vomiting is there. Then cardiac adverse effect is also included. In that, bradycardia, extrasystoles, AV block, paroxysmal atrial tachycardia, sinoatrial arrest, ventricular tachycardia and also miscellaneous toxicity is there. In that, gynecomastia and skin rashes. Gynecomastia means what? Male's breast tissue swell due to reduced male hormones, that is testosterone, or also in another word is increased female hormones. Then contraindication to digoxin toxicity is contraindication to digoxin therapy is digoxin toxicity. Then treatment of digoxin toxicity is the prompt insertion of temporary cardiac pacemaker and administration of digitalis antibodies. Digoxin immune fab is the digitalis antibodies. Then these antibodies recognize cardiac glycosides from many plants in addition to digoxin. They are extremely useful in the reversing severe intoxication with most glycosides. Then also oral and parenteral potassium supplements is provided. These are the contraindicated in presence of hyperkalemia. Then next is for ventricular arrhythmias. In that lidocaine IV drug is better. Then for supraventricular arrhythmia, propranolol may be given IV or orally. And then next is what? For AV block and bradycardia, atropine 0.6 to 1.2 mg intramuscularly is given. Then in next slide, the second class of drug is vasodilators. They may be arteriolar vasodilators, venous vasodilators, or both. In that first, angiotensin converting enzyme first. Example is captopril, enalapril and lisinopril. These are mixed vasodilators. They dilate both arteries and veins. They act by decreasing both preload and afterload on the heart due to both arterial dilation and venous dilation. What is the preload and afterload? The preload is the initial stretching of the cardiac muscle cell prior to the contraction, and afterload, the afterload is the force or load against which the heart has to contract to eject the blood. Then next is angiotensin receptor antagonist. Example is losartan. It is useful in low ventricular failure. It acts by decreasing ventricular preload. Now next is nitrovasodilators. Nitrovasodilators example is sodium nitroprusside, glyceryl nitrate, isorbide dinitrate. They are useful in acute and chronic congestive heart failure. They act by decreasing ventricular filling, that is preload, by decreasing venous return to the heart due to venous dilatation. Sodium nitroprusside also decrease afterload by arterial dilatation. Okay. Next slide. Direct vasodilators. Direct vasodilator example is hydralazine and nicorandil. They act by decreasing afterload on the heart by arterial dilatation. Next is calcium channel blockers. Calcium channel blockers, in that example is nifedipine and amlodipine. They act by decreasing afterload in the heart by arterial dilatation. They can also decrease ventricular preload by venodilatation. Then next is indilators. Indilators are the agent with inotropic effect, in that include phosphodiesterase 3rd inhibitor. Example is amrinone and mylerenone. They are synthetic bipyridines. They produce positive inotropic action on the heart and direct vasodilation. That means dilate both arteries and veins. They increase cyclic AMP concentration in myocardial cell. They are useful in congestive cardiac failure and low ventricular failure. They are administered by IV infusion with 5% dextrose solution. Okay. Next major class is adrenergic receptor antagonist. Example is prazosin, phentolamine and labetalol. They act by decreasing both preload and afterload on the heart. Next major class is beta adrenergic receptor agonist. Example is dobutamine. Dobutamine is a sympathomimetic drug used in the treatment of heart failure. Its primary mechanism is direct stimulation of beta 1 receptor of sympathetic nervous system. Dobutamine was developed by the Eli Lilly company as the structural analog of isoprenaline. Unlike the vasoconstriction seen with the high doses of dopamine, dobutamine produces a mild vasodilation. Last but not the least, major class is diuretics. Example is hydrochlorothiazide, furosemide and amiloride. Action in congestive cardiac failure is diuretic reduce preload by decreasing the circulation volume and reduce pulmonary and peripheral edema. Diuretics like thiazide and furosemide cause the hypokalemia. Hypokalemia increases the digitalis toxicity. So, in a patient of congestive cardiac failure receiving digitalis, hypokalemia should be avoided. This can be done either supplementing potassium intake or by adding potassium sparing diuretics with thiazide or furosemide. Thiazides are safer because they cause less hyperkalemia. Loop diuretics are used in severe failure and in emergency, that is pulmonary edema. Potassium sparing diuretics are used as adjuvants. These are the potassium sparing diuretics, loop diuretics and potassium sparing diuretics, loop diuretics are the subclasses of diuretics. Okay. Another that the newer drug therapy is also included for the heart failure, in that vasopeptidase inhibitors, that is omapatrilate and nesiratide, and also omecamtiv mecarbil is also used for the heart failure, in that selective cardiac myosin activator is used for the treatment of heart failure. Okay, this all about the cardiac congestive heart failure. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you.